Good evening. The Big D back and ready to discuss all things sports on the Driving to the Top production and the Spunky Spectrum Sports. It is 8 o'clock here in Estero, and we greatly appreciate your tuning in. And a lot to cover. Gene Hackman passing away brings me back to one of my favorite sports movies ever. NFL Scouting Combine. Anybody running a fast 40, anybody benching or maybe not participating, wheeling and dealing. Will there be any trades? Will Travis Kelsey come back? Will Matthew Stafford end up playing for Tom Brady's team? Maybe, and then some injuries with Abdul Carter, and then what I think could happen the next couple months between now and the NFL draft in Green Bay. Maybe some other baseball discussions too. I mean, we all in spring training, I do stats for the Red Sox, so might be some baseball discussions. But obviously, everyone woke up to the news of Gene Hackman's death. And that brings me back to one of the best sports movies ever made, Hoosiers. 1986, basketball in Indiana. And if it's basketball in Indiana, it's something because I don't think there's a more basketball crazed state than Indiana. My friends in Kentucky might say Kentucky, but Indiana and basketball go together. It's like football, and I'm not saying all football, but the football in England, basketball and Indiana go together, like NASCAR at Daytona. Like NASCAR is never going to leave Daytona. Hopefully, knock on wood, Formula One will never leave Monaco. Even though you cannot pass a donkey around those streets of Monaco. But that's a story for another day. Lost one of Wood, Gene Hackman passing away. And it reminds me of what are the best sports movies of all time. Obviously, Hoosiers would be near, or if not at the top of that list. You think of Miracle, which relives the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team beating the Soviet Union in Lake Placid after just celebrating the 45th anniversary of that game. Slapshot, or the Mighty Ducks D1 Mighty Ducks sequel. I'm not sure why I mentioned all the hockey movies. Moneyball, all the baseball movies. I'm trying to think. What else? Some other great. Some other great baseball movies. Of course, Major League, Mr. 3000, Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a League of Their Own, Bull Durham, Pride of the Yankees, Field of Dreams, 8 Men Out. I think that was about the Black Sox game. Yeah, 8 Men Out, about the 1919 Black Sox. Oh, and NFL draft. I'm trying to think, but what's the draft day? Yeah, draft day about the NFL draft. Why they always have to pick on the Jacksonville Jaguars beyond me, but that's still weird. But maybe we'll get lucky at 5 this year and find our next stud player. But um Speaking of draft, the NFL scouting combines in Indianapolis this week, the defensive linemen and linebackers were on display today, and a couple of D linemen were unbelievable. I think James Pierce, the Tennessee pass rusher, ran sub 4.5, and Texas A&M's Shamal Stewart was unfreaking believable. I mean, thanks to Math Bomb here, 6'5", 267, ran, I believe he was 4.59 40-yard dash, jumped vertically jumped 40 inches, broad jump over 10 feet. I mean, that is a freak of an athlete. I mean, and there's a chance. I mean, middle, late first round, maybe more middle first round now. In a draft that, you know, isn't the greatest for top end talent. I mean, there's top end guys, Abdul Carter, Travis Carter, the Tyler Warren, but I'm not sure there's the kind of stall guys. It's a decent draft, but it's not a great draft. I don't think we're talking game changers. Excuse me, Travis Hunter, thank you, the Colorado corner. And speaking of the draft, I know what everybody's wondering. What the heck is going on with the rumors about maybe Cam Ward going before Shedeur Sanders? Simple. NFL teams like talented quarterbacks, and Cam Ward is more talented than Shedeur Sanders. He's probably bigger, more athletic, stronger throwing up. Yes, we look at Cam based on his offense, especially this year in Miami, with basically bubble screen galore. But we look at him physically and think, wow, this guy's got all the talent in the world. And Shedeur, yes, Colorado could not run the ball off of you know what this year. But is Shedeur going to be a top 10 pick because of Dion or because Shedeur's ability to throw in the pocket? I mean, I wouldn't call Shedeur Sanders, a runner. I would call him more the pocket pass, the Joe Burrow, the Matthew Stafford, the Jared Goff. I'm not saying he's anywhere like those three guys because Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow are both top five quarterbacks, and Jared Goff darn near led the Lions to the playoffs the last couple of years. But honestly, I think it's tough for me seeing Shedeur Sanders going for before the Miami quarterback, but that doesn't mean both these guys will fail in the NFL. I think both of them will walk. I mean, if Shedeur Sanders ended with the Raiders, I think that'd be great. Got a capable offensive line, Hall of Fame coach and Pete Carroll, great offense coordinator and Chip Kelly. I don't know about you, but Brock Bowers might be the best tight end in football next year. If you have a dynasty draft and can get Brock Bowers, your number one tight end, I'd recommend getting him because that guy's a freak. Brock Bowers a freak. That was one of my biggest mistakes this year. I didn't really draft Brock Bowers. That won't be an issue. I'm going to draft Brock Bowers no matter who Vegas' quarterback is. And also, who knows what happens to Max Crosby. Now, the Raiders have to get another wide receiver with Jacoby Myers, and then a running back. Luckily, it's one of the best running back drafts ever. I know everybody's saying Vegas will draft Ashton Chanty at 6. I don't think I would draft Chanty 6, particularly when so many other guys are available. Both Ohio State running backs. Um, Cam Scatterbull from Arizona State. That's a running back from North Carolina. I like a running back from USC. And running backs go on this draft. And instead of getting a running back, why not get a quarterback or maybe the wide receiver from Arizona, T. McMillan? Because I think T. McMillan's Drake London. I don't. T. McMillan's a burner, but I think he's a capable route runner. And look at the top of the draft. What teams could be interested in Cam Ward or Shador Sanders? Yes, Tennessee and Cleveland may or may not take quarterbacks. I personally think the Titans are going to take best player available. I think Tennessee may look to sign a veteran quarterback back, but I think the Titans also may look at taking best player available. I mean, could they look at giving Drew Lock at giving Will Levis some competition there? I mean, it's not like Tennessee's got a ton of weapons there. Aside the running backs, I mean, the wide receiver in this point. And if Tennessee doesn't win this year, I think everybody's getting fired, man. So there may not be the urgency to draft a young quarterback in Nashville. Cleveland too. I to be honest with you, I think the Browns are one team I'm looking at maybe next year getting a quarterback. I mean, the Browns just look like they can't get the quarterback position right at all. The Cleveland Browns have gone through more quarterbacks than people will go through 10 shoes in a lifetime. And Deshaun Watson's not Cleveland's long-term quarterback. Not with two torn Achilles, not with that guaranteed contract. I mean, if I'm the Browns, I think there's a chance they move Myles Garrett. I mean, you imagine he ends up in Buffalo or Green Bay. But I think the Browns will take best player available. I think if the Titans take Abdul Carter, then the Browns will take Travis Hunter. And if the Titans take Travis Hunter, I think the Browns take Abdul Carter. I mean, speaking of Travis Hunter, I think Travis Hunter is one of the most freakish football players I've ever seen. In fact, he won the Heisman going both ways. Something all those guys back in the 40s or 50s would love. Chuck Bennett going both ways back with the Eagles, but I worry Hunter is small in that how will he handle tackling Jamal Chase? Because you imagine if Travis Hunter's job is tackle Jamal Chase, Justin Jefferson, or Puka Nakua. That's gonna be fun. But it's a question that's gonna be asked and answered at 7 point. Um and then at 3 with the Giants. I mean, could New York be in play for Matthew Stafford? Yes. But the more and more I'm thinking about it and reading, the more and more I think the Giants will draft their next quarterback rather than trade for one. Does that mean New York will look at Stafford, the price makes sense, sure, but honestly, I think I think the Giants will look to draft one, and I think it's Campbell. Even though the Giants went through the, I guess you would say, celebrity quarterback feel, I mean, I don't know if New York will go down that route. Plus, no coach and general manager will face the hot seat like Joe Shane and and Brian Dable going into this year. No, if the Giants get off to a bad start, one of both of them could be gone by Halloween. This year's Dennis out. And frankly, letting Saquon Barkley lead to your arch rival is inexcusable. Whether it's the head coach, general manager, or both. The Giants can't bleep up this quarterback scenario. They've got they've got a really good young receiver in Malik Neighbors. You can't waste him with pitiful quarterback play. It's time to get a real quarterback and just see what Malik Neighbors can do. You know, the offensive line, they've got Andrew Thomas. I mean, yeah, it's not the best offensive line, but turn around one off season. For New England. I know everybody was saying New England will draft a what? T. McMillan? No. I think New England goes after one or two players. It'll either be Will Campbell, the tackle from LSU, or Mason Graham. I think Mike Vrabel will love Mason Graham, setting the edge defensively, really clogging up the middle. But the Patriots have to get a lineman for Drake May. New England's offensive line was wretched last year, and frankly, no matter who's catching the ball, Drake May will not last if teams are flat killing it. And then five with Jackson. It might depend on who's left. I mean, could the Jacks make a play from Mason Graham or Travis Hunt, Will Johnson, or maybe T. McMillan? I mean, I'm hearing talk the Jacks may cut Christian Kirk. Well, I don't like it. And I think T. McMillan makes sense. I mean, Brian Thomas worked out really well last year. But the Jags go in this draft a ton of draft capital, and frankly, I'm just happy. Truthfully, I'm just happy Trent Baalke's not going to make our pick this year. Thank goodness, because I thought he was going to mess it up like he did a few of ours in recent. And in six with the Raiders, I think the Raiders will get a quarterback, whether it be trade for Stafford, free agency with like Russ, or maybe the Raiders draft one. I mean, Drew Sanders in Las Vegas makes a lot of sense. I mean, maybe they draft Ashton Janty. And then after the Raiders, thinking who's at seven? The Jets. Will Johnson at five? I mean, if Will Johnson's healthy with that foot, I think Will Johnson's one a really good corner. And you know what? The Jags drafted a cornerback at 5 in 2017. He turned out all right, that being Jalen Ramsey. Maybe we go down that same route with Will Johnson. I'm starting to think you don't like Trent Baalke. Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you this. I hate Trent Baalke. I hate Trent Baalke more than facing Derrick Henry, bull rushing all defense twice a year. And trust me, I'm glad he's in Baltimore. I'm glad Henry's in Baltimore now. It was nobody I hated. There was nobody I hated tackling in less than week 18 than double deuces. But you know, at 7, I think the Jets could go after a number of areas. I mean, do they get one of these quarterbacks if Shador was available? Is there a chance maybe the Jets go after Tyler Warren? I think Warren would make a lot of sense. And then 8 Carolina. I think Carolina will go after defense. I think one of the Georgia pass rushers, whether it be Walker Williams, will make sense. I mean, wide receiver doesn't hurt, lineman doesn't hurt for Bryce Young, but I think go. I think the Saints need to give. I think the Saints need to get more weapons. I mean, to the defense getting old, Cam Jordan, Honey Badger, but honestly, we don't. I don't think anybody knows what Chris Olave's got left, or will be able to, if he'll be able to play with the concussion history. I think T. McMillan makes a lot of sense. And then at 10, I think the Bears go offensive line, whether it be tackle, guard. I think the Bears have to get Caleb Williams some help. Saints, Kelvin Banks, tackle at Texas. I think that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, but the Saints have already drafted guys on the offensive line. They drafted the tackle from Oregon State last year for Florida. So I think the Saints go after wide receiver. Banks at 10 doesn't make Banks at 10, if he's there, would make a lot of sense. Even though I think he's a better tackle than guard. Guard. I mean, is there a chance Banks is off the board early? I mean, coming into this year, I thought Banks would have been a top 5 or 6 pick. There's a chance he might be available at 10. And you look at San Francisco at 11. I mean, I think the Niners need a tackle. I mean, there's a chance Trent Williams retires. They also need cornerback help. Will Johnson's available. Makes a lot of sense in the Banks area. Banks not Campbell, best tackle in the draft. Honestly, I saw a lot of Banks this year, and I didn't think he was great. True, that ankle was bothering him, but honestly, I did not think. I thought Banks disappointed me this year. I think Campbell. I think Campbell will be the first tackle taken. But that's why we have disagreements. I mean, people could say, well, Ryan Leaf would have been a better quarterback than Peyton Manning coming out 20 something years ago. Well, Ryan Leaf became an all time draft bust, and Peyton Manning's bust is in the Hall of Fame. So, it's guessing. I mean, who would ever think that Jamarcus Russell would be an all-time draft bust? Oops. Oops. Maybe he went to the wrong team, but that's a story for another day. And then, about a couple rumors. I've heard multiple reports saying that Travis Kelsey, I think he even said on Pat Mac. I think Kelsey even said on Pat McAfee's show that he'll be back in 2025. Honestly, surprised Kelsey's return. I mean, it wasn't a great Super Bowl. I mean, who knows if Kelsey was healthy, whether it be injury or illness wise. Obviously helps the Chiefs. By the way, it looks like the Chiefs will keep Trey Smith, whether it be a long term deal or franchise tag. So the middle three of that Kansas City line should be intact. But the Chiefs need help defensive line and probably a wide receiver now. So is there a chance? Maybe running back wise. I mean, if Chanty's there at 31, could the Chiefs be in play? I don't think it's the craziest idea. And then with Stafford, I mean, questions will be asked. Does he leave? Do the Rams steal him? Personally, I don't think the Rams deal Stafford, but if he's available, I mean, I think the Giants are intriguing. Maybe not with coaches and GMs on the hot seat. I'm even hearing more and more about Vegas. I mean, Dome Stadium, really good head coach and OC combo. Tom Brady running the show. Now, very difficult division with Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and Mahomes, Herbert, Bo Nix. That would I don't think I've ever seen a division with four Hall of Fame coaches. But that's what we could see this. That's what we'll see this year in the AFC West. Four Hall of Fame coaches. Jim Harbaugh might not be in the Hall of Fame because he coached at Stanford and with Michigan, but Jim Harbaugh is every bit as good. Yeah, one of my friends, Jacob Sanderson, tweeted, "If Stafford goes to the Raiders, is Brock Bowers FFPC 101?" I mean, I bet you Brock Bowers would be happy if the Raiders got Stafford. Um, it's. I mean, do the Rams give Stafford a big deal? Because honestly, the Rams came within one Jalen Carter sack of maybe beating the Eagles. Now they've got, I mean, a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the game. The only three quarterbacks I'm taking over Stafford going into 2025 are Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. I think Matthew Stafford is better than Lamar, and he proved it on the road in Philly. Because in a snowstorm, Matthew Stafford made throw after throw against a really good defense and gave his team a chance to win. If not for Jalen Carter sacking him, I think the Rams could have won that game and probably end up in the Super Bowl. I don't think Washington beats the Rams, but that's a story for another day. I mean, is it all about money? I mean, Vegas is a no state income tax state. Be able to play in a dome, but it's a much harder division, not just coaching, but quarterback wise. I mean, the NFC West used to be a grind. Now, not so much. I mean, Kyler was very disappointing last year. Gino, nah. And Brock Purdy really missed Christian McCaffrey. I don't see. Honestly, though, I don't see much. But you know, that's I'm not the reason. I mean, Sean McVay, top two coach in the league, but does Tom Brady have that much say? I mean, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford skiing in Montana. Maybe TB12 could show him a place to two in Vegas. And then Miles Garrett. Where does he go? I think Miles Garrett's name will be brought up many, many times between now and the draft. Does he go to Green Bay? I think the Packers have been dying for a pass rusher. But does Green Bay have the you know what to make a big move? Do the Buffalo Bills have the you know what? And maybe in Buffalo the need, because I don't know what it is, but Buffalo's got no chance stopping Pat Mahomes in January. They need help. Miles Garrett might be the difference in stopping Mahomes in the playoffs. Not the referees. It'd be getting a Hall of Fame pass rusher. I don't think Brett Favre wins the Super Bowl ring unless the Packers get Reggie White. Maybe with Buffalo, it's go get your Reggie White, go get your Lawrence Taylor, and get Miles Garrett. If that means you give up two first round picks, so what? With Buffalo, where Buffalo will be drafted, that pick might not matter. I mean, Buffalo's not getting a Miles Garrett at 30. There's no way Buffalo's getting Miles Garrett on Miles Garrett like player at 30. But I know the Browns don't want to move Miles Garrett, but I think Miles Garrett's sick and tired of losing. He wants a chance at a ring, and I think Miles Garrett will be gone. Huh. Who knows? Um, Stafford end up in Pittsburgh? Probably not. I don't know what it is, but the Steelers stupidly don't want to get an offense. And hey, Pittsburgh, why don't you trade T.J. Watt for a young quarterback? Why don't you get a quarterback? Because the Steelers aren't going to win with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields anyway. Go get a quarterback. Go get your flipping quarterback. Yeah. James Pierce Jr., 4.47 40-yard dash. Faster than Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. And then who else could be on the trade block? I mean, will the Seahawks entertain DK Metcalf? I mean, I don't think the Dolphins would trade Cheeto or Jalen Waddle. I mean, maybe the Atlanta Falcons will get a power throw or two, but that's a story for another day. And then, how do you feel about the Jags going in this round? I like having a top 5 pick. I wish it would have been last year's draft. We could get something else, but I mean, Brian Thomas a home run at last year, but the Jags need help. I mean, whether it be a corner, defensive lineman, wide receiver, I'm good anyway. Um, Speaking of baseball, I know nobody's really caring about baseball right now because one spring training, the Red Sox prospects were in fuego today. I know it's spring training and all, but Marcelo Meyer was unbelievable. Triple homer. I think he got another hit. Yeah, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, runs scored. I think Anthony, and then Campbell. Well, I mean, I might be biased because I'm seeing a lot of these guys at JetBlue Park, but the Red Sox we got 3 of the best 10 prospects, 12, 15 prospects in baseball. And all of them, well, I think Campbell will end up being the Red Sox second baseman, but we'll see about Anthony Meyer this year. Like talking about prospects. Oh, I'm hearing a Shohei Ohtani and be on the bump them all. Yeah, let's hope Ohtani lasts a full season. Although, personally, if it's me, I would rather have Ohtani close. I think you'd be better off having Ohtani close and not worrying about Ohtani throw 130 innings rather than because seemingly last year Ohtani was a far better hitter going 50-50. I think you would be. I think Ohtani would be better off DHing and maybe being an outfielder, and then maybe September and October Ohtani could be a relief pitcher and just throw in October. But the Dodgers may think, you know what, we gave Ohtani a $700 million contract and wanted to pitch and hit. So, and generally, I believe that Dodgers would want him hitting and pitching if possible. So, 40 minutes here on the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page, driving the top production, my Twitch, Facebook pages. Thank you for tuning into this stream, and we will be back with more. See you later.